the only purpose of man's sojourn on this earth is to seek God.
Yeah. So you know what happens? That's a paradigm shift. That is the wave-particle duality, where the particle becomes the wave, where the electron becomes light. That is passing the first mandala of the rings pass not. When you connect with the Guru, if you read my Patanjali Sutra, it's just a small book. There are 3 mandalas you have to pass. The first mandala of the rings pass not, where the electron becomes light. The second mandala of the rings pass not, where the space-time continuum breaks down, where the speed of light is exceeded. That is the second paradigm shift. When the speed of light is exceeded, you go into a time-reversed phenomenon, a backward in time motion. And then you can play with causation, space and time. That means you're virtually, for all practical purposes, you're playing God. Raising the dead, a deed which is done a month before, you go faster than the speed of the month where the deed has been committed and rub out that event and it all comes clear. Somebody had that thing in the office with me. They said, I sat down for this work, there was a whole pile of work, I had to do this work, and then later they told me, no, there's no mistake and no work to be done, and it's all okay. It is somebody in Europe or somebody in Italy who had this, and they said, Gurunath, did you go faster than this? I said, if they said that this is a workload on you and you're very distracted. It was Petra. She was going to be expelled from her job. You know Petra? Yeah. She always comes with a British team. She's with Alok. Petra from London. So she said, I'm very disturbed. So she prayed to Gurunath, and she was going to be sacked because there's a whole lot of allegations in that work. The work was all wrong. And she said, Gurunath, I don't know. I have not done this. People have put this on me and I'm in a great soup. It has been done about 21 days before. What's going to happen now? The papers are coming. Suddenly the paper came out and they said, no, it was a mistake. There's no mistake. They said, but you just gave me a report that these are the mistakes. This is what, and you're going to consider to take me out of my job or put me in a different department, demote me, and now you're saying that there's no work. So is this, Gurunath, a case of the passing the second speed, exceeding the speed of light and going in a backward in time motion, faster, doing faster than what had happened 21 days ago in this motion of time, and reversing the phenomena? Yes, it is. This was an example which needs to be put on the YouTube, and an explanation needs to be given that this was happened. This is the quantum explanation for such a thing to happen. How could it be when she's got the report that these are your faults, these are your allegations, this has been proved, this is this, and they suddenly come and say, oh, there's nothing, we found nothing. Now the inner mechanics even I cannot explain in words. So when you exceed the speed of light, that is the passing the mandala of the rings pass not. The second mandala of the rings pass not. This is not given in Patanjali. This is Gurunath. This is not, your guru is not a copycat guru. He's an out of the box guru. He's different. He sets the pace. He makes the norms. He makes the sutras. He writes the Vedas. Okay? Let me not go further, because then it will become like a fable. The third phase of the rings pass not is when all creation is reversed into its transcendental matrix. And then that matrix and your consciousness enters all, even the final state of Aham Brahmasmi, or all of this creation is me. When you know that the whole of creation is a myth, it is but relativity, and you pass into the great void, you're passing through the star of what we know not what, in the singularity, when light and space and time have all been swallowed up, and light is also swallowed up, there shines a star of we know not what. This is passing the third mandala. Because if the black hole, as you call it, or the singularity swallows up light, then how can there be a dazzling star in the singularity? It has swallowed up light. So I've called it Babaji is the star of we know not what. He confounds us. He is the dichotomy. He is the visible, invisible savior of mankind. He is the nameless one, and yet he goes by many names. And yet the avatars and the great gods, the secondary gods, have not been able to fathom his transcendental star. Quote, Jnana Avatar Sri Yukteswar. Do not try to transcend his transcendental star. It is inconceivable. So this person, he's doing exactly what Sri Yukteswar has told him not to do. We know it cannot be done, but for the sake of the people, out of the compassion, he's trying to tell you, passing the mandala of the rings pass not. The third stage of the third mandala of the rings pass not is passing the star which shineth in the darkness, and the star light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. So I have called this star the star of we know not what is Babaji. And when light and space and time have all been swallowed up, and there is the great nothing, the great void, and yet the star shineth in the lightness. That is Babaji. When you pass that stars, all avatars become Maha-avatars. That is also called the land of no return. And that is the finality, Kaivalya. Kaivalya. And just before that, the stage with the center everywhere and the circumference nowhere. That is the stage of Babaji, and beyond that, we are unable to say what it is. So these are the three mandalas of the rings pass not. Got it? One is the exceeding from the electron, the transition, the paradigm shift from the electron to light. It goes 1 mile faster, the light, than the electron. Yet it's a whole new paradigm shift. It's a new dimension. The second one is exceeding the speed of light, going into a backward in time phenomena, passing the mandala of the second mandala of the rings pass not. And passing the third mandala of the rings pass not is passing where causation, space and time have all disappeared into the great void and nothing. And there is no light, yet a certain light, yet a certain star shines in the darkness, which cannot be comprehended. This is the star of we know not what. This is Babaji. And passing that, you pass the third mandala of the rings pass not into total and absolute enlightenment. Now there is a difference. You will ask me, Gurunath, what is the star that we pass in Jyoti Mudra and Shivanetra Vedan? And what is that star which you are talking about? So one is the individual star, the other is the cosmic star. In the individual star, this is also a dichotomy. This is also the star. It is the collective electron. And when you pierce the electron, you go from the electron to light. The electron represents the world ego, and from the electron you go into light. The electron of asmit or ego samadhi, sabikalp samadhi, when you penetrate the electron of sabikalp samadhi, you go into a state of nirvikalp samadhi, and there every individual is enlightened. But is this enlightenment the same as the enlightenment of the great one where the avatars pass through the star of Avatar Babaji in the cosmic sphere and go into the great isness of the zero, not zero? No. That is absolutely cosmic God realization. And this is absolute self-realization, because passing through this star, you have a crystal mind, you have no karma, you have conquered your karma. But the only difference is the residual karmas of your past life and past world cycles are still to be worked out in the stage of nirvikalp samadhi. And in that stage, the final one in the cosmic sphere, where you pass through the third mandala of the rings pass not, the star of we know not what, in that there is absolutely no residual karma of this or past lives. It is beyond enlightenment. Ati Mahaparinirvana. Ati means supreme, great, supreme, inconceivable, great nirman. Then there are gods for other world cycles. Those are the evolution of the gods. I always give you more than what you ask for, so you can never complain.